All right, now we're going to move on to some personality terminology. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the id, ego, and superego. Ego, in the context of personality psychology, is not at all how we tend to use ego out in pop culture language. It has nothing to do with like your pride about yourself or anything like that. The idea of like a bruised ego is very different than how it's used this way. So Freud's ideas about psychology are kind of all over the place. Some are still used, some are not. I don't know if you can hear my dogs. If you can, I apologize. They find it very offensive that everyone is out walking on this nice day except for them. But Freud's idea of id, ego, and superego really shaped a lot of how we view our internal conflicts. So Freud believed that everyone's personality had these three key parts to them. The id is like the inner child. It's your impulse drive. It's, hey, I want this thing. I want this, right? It has to do with food. It has to do with sex. It has to do with physical desires. It has to be, this thing would give me pleasure, so I want it. Kind of that inner toddler brain of, I don't care about the consequences. I don't care how illogical it is. This is the thing that I want, okay? So that's your id. I want the thing. Then there's your superego. And that's your shoulder angel. That's your Jiminy Cricket. That's your inner morality that's always sitting there yapping at you about all the things that go wrong and what would be the perfect behavior in this situation and all the reasons why your id should not have what it wants. And it's your voice of morality. It is your inner parent that's always reminding you about all of the things that would be the right thing to do and all the things that could possibly go wrong. So there's this idea that your id is this inner child that's always over here going, I want. And the superego is like your inner angel that's always, no, that would not be a good thing. And that the ego is kind of this mediator in between the two of them. And the parts of your personality that you express are the compromises that your ego is making between your id and your superego. Of when does each one get to win, or how are we compromising here? And that the ego is this like big inner mediator that's allowing these things to balance out. And sometimes a person's ego is going to let their id win more than they should. And that's going to be a very impulsive and irresponsible person. And sometimes a person's ego is going to let their superego win more than it should. And that person's going to be just very like repressed and blah and not looking out for their own desires very often. So your ego is the part of your personality that we actually see because it's running this constant interference between your id, which is your inner child, and your superego, which is your inner parent, shoulder angel, Jiminy Cricket, however you want to word it. If you're watching this for class, there's no keyword for this video. The last one will be on the last video.